Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining us for today's Facebook Live session. We're very, very excited. I'm here in the Guy Harvey Gallery and Shop, traveling just Harvey, and I will be facilitating the Facebook Live session today. So thank you for joining. Grab a seat, get comfortable. For those of you who know what's going on, we're going to be talking about a special topic relating to marine efforts, and also a special shout out today. But we're just going to give it a few moments for people to get comfortable, get ready, get your pencils out, your coffee, water, whatever it is you need, and feel free to send in comments. And if you hear the audio okay, just let me know in the comments. That would be great. If not, we will fix it. And I'm just going to show you the nice display in the gallery for now while people get sorted. Who is this old man over here?
Thank you for that. Wow. It's a bit rough.
Is this Dr. Harvey?
Good morning, everybody. How's it going today?
It's good. Just give me a second, Dad. I'm just going to see.
Take your time. I'm just sketching out some stuff here.
Okie dokie. This is... Why is this not coming up on live? Can you guys hear me okay? I'm trying to find why...
What happened to the mic for the guy?
Yeah, I have that. It's just... It's at home. I needed to fix it. Here we are. Lots of people watching. Let me see. All right. I'm not seeing any comments. Sometimes Facebook allows me to see comments and sometimes it doesn't, but today it doesn't seem like I am. So if anyone wants to say hi and put in where they're from, that would be great. And then I can just double check that this is working, because it doesn't look like it is.
Not on me, are you?
Yes, I am.
Turn it away for a sec.
Yeah. Blowing your nose.
Yep.
Here we go. Yes. Okay. So Facebook is not showing me the... I can get your comments now. Are you ready, Dad?
10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds. So, in the meantime, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Facebook Live session this fine Saturday. I hope you guys are all safe and well. I'm Jessica Harvey. I'm helping with this Facebook Live as usual, and so we'll be started in a second. And thank you for joining us. For those of you who are new, Facebook had started during the time of COVID, and we have done so many different sessions to get to know Dr. Harvey, his techniques, aka Dad, and all his artistic tips for you guys, for budding artists. So if you haven't seen any of those, feel free to go onto guyharvey.com. Guy Harvey Facebook page, and see all of those videos that are there for you to peruse at your own leisure. And we've talked about sharks, we've talked about habitats, we've talked about turtles, predator-prey interactions, you name it, and in different places as well. Sometimes we take you out on the boat with us. Sometimes we've taken you to see the stingrays. So feel free to have a look. And also there's amazing resources available as well on our ghof.org, our new website that has come out, and we've got a load of partnerships that we've been working on to bring you more access to environmental education about the marine life. And so please have a look on our website to see all of those partnerships and those efforts. And if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can go on and see all the Amazon documentaries that we have up there. Please, I encourage you to review them, because this is the way in which we are going to be able, hopefully they're all good, but if we're always wanting to hear what you think, but if the way that we're going to be able to increase our ability to help people in other countries to see it is by the more reviews we have, and then Amazon will invite us on an international platform to be able to share those as well. So thank you so much in advance. I'm going to be looking at my other phone to be able to see all your comments. So good morning, Mari. Sandy, thank you very much for confirming you can hear me. That's great. Hi, Sandy from Texas. Cindy Stevens says, would love to be there. We can hear you, just sometimes can't hear your dad. Okay, no worries. I'm going to put it closer to him so that I can be sure to get the mic sorted. Fred Garth, hello. Thank you for joining us. And so are you ready in 5 minutes? Okay, so what I'm going to do too is that we have a special shout out to Marine Max. Thank you so much for your efforts in raising awareness, particularly about Earth Day coming up. I love the logo in the sense that it's Marine Max United by Oceans. Or United by the Water. I think that is such a powerful slogan, and I think that's what GHOF stands for as well, is highlighting how we are united by the oceans. And so what we're going to talk about today is the marine parks. And so we'll be going through and sharing also what we do, what's encouraged, and a little tidbit. So feel free to put on questions in the comments. I'll pick them up as best I can. But thank you again, Marine Max, for your support. They have been doing a lot of programs to help people learn how to use powerboats and become captains, especially kids programs as well. That's really important.
So while we're on that,
I'll turn this around.
While we're on that subject, Jessica, didn't you do a boating course here in Cayman a few years ago?
Yes.
And how did you find that?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I learned a lot, and especially when you're driving and responsible for people, it's important to learn.
Well, it's important to have ladies driving boats, and even young kids, teenagers can drive boats too. It's not like you need a driving license, but to undertake a course, a recognized course, is obviously very valuable indeed. It brings a lot of confidence to you and the people around you, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, Dad, so go ahead and tell them what you're wanting to talk about today.
We are remiss in not celebrating the fact that we finally here in the Cayman Islands have completed the 10-year process. I said 10-year process of marine park expansion here. All this work has been undertaken by our Department of Environment. It began in 2011, and why is it so relevant? It's because the example that we are setting to the rest of the Caribbean and of course the Western Atlantic, anywhere that has coral reefs which need to be protected very badly, we have achieved this through sheer persistence and of course through research work. So we've only mentioned it very briefly, and while this is not going to be a full-blown art Facebook Live, there's going to be some artistic components because some of the animals I paint are reef creatures.
I like the ones behind you.
Oh yeah.
In
there we go.
Sponge Garden.
Perfect. So why is this important?
Okay. Well, which angle would be better for me? Should I come around behind?
Come around here.
Okay. I'm gonna come around. So you can see.
Even though we're a very small island, we're only 22 miles long and like 6 miles wide, and the Cayman Brack and Little Cayman are even smaller. Little Cayman actually has the best coral growth in the entire Caribbean. It's about 23% cover. Cayman Brack has about 20. Grand Cayman has an average of 6 to 8, compared to the Florida Keys, which has 2% live coral growth. Just to put everything in perspective. So this expansion from 15% to 45% is a much better tool at conserving your reef systems than by protecting individual species, which are also done. We've protected groupers here, for example, Nassau groupers. We told you a lot about that. But in protecting a large area of reef, you're protecting not only shallow reef, you're protecting fore reef and deep reef. Mm-hmm. You're protecting almost the entire shallow water habitat from the land to the drop-off. Mm-hmm. And of course, we are surrounded here by drop-offs. We have no big area of shallow water. So our minuscule area of shallow water becomes so much more important for all the animals that live there. So let's take a quick look at the sort of components. We'll do really shallow water here, Jessica, that has the mangroves on the shallower side. The reef flat, which may be anywhere from 2 to 6 feet deep, goes out to the reef crest, and the reef crest is normally at the break where the water gets deeper, and waves coming in to the reef crest get broken down, the energy is absorbed, and so the water behind is pretty still. And as everybody knows, mangroves have a fantastic nursery component to their significance, so to speak. I just done a little sketch here. These are all little fish. We got, shallow water sharks, nurse sharks. We got lobsters in there. We got conch. We got the coral reef. We got the deep fore reef. And then, to go on a slightly wider profile, as I said, the shallow water is protected down to 150 feet. Why is that significant? Because our reef, our deep fore reef, really breaks anywhere from 30 to 60, 80 feet maybe. And it tumbles down into the abyss. We have some of the deepest water in the Atlantic Ocean, just a few miles from our coastline. But in the shallow reef, you got the reef crest, the shallow reef, and the shallow fore reef. There's lots of animals that live there. There's groupers, there's rays, there's parrotfish, there's snappers, there's turtles. There's lots of coral growth. And then on the deep fore reef, you get more pelagics. And of course, you get some of the top predators like the sharks that will swim mostly in the deeper water in the day and come in the shallow water at night. I heard that yesterday somebody saw a 14-foot tiger shark right off Macabuca.
What?
Doing a shore dive. So
that's so cool.
Shark conservation is working here as well. Anyway, I'm sure you can Google all this stuff, but I just want to say how important it is that we have undertaken this journey. It's taken 10 years to do, with a little help from Prince Charles back in 2018, and we got to where we are. So what have the DOE done?
Well, hold on. So just can we take a pause there for a second because I see we've got lots of new people.
Good.
So I just want to, oops. Hold on.
What have you done? There we go.
Hi. So we just want to say hello to those who are new. Again, we are starting our session, a Facebook Live session on marine parks and their importance as a tool for ocean conservation. We've just, again, if you've missed any of it, you can go back onto the Facebook page and see it because it's all going to be saved and posted there.
Right.
So keep coming in with your comments. I am going to be looking at another phone to be able to see them. So bear with me 1 second. But we've just talked about marine parks, and we also did wanted to shout out to Marine Max for their support for us, and also their support in boating education for their community, because that's equally important. Again, as I said, marine parks are a tool, but it takes the community to also respect the environment, and you do that by being responsible boat owners.
Right.
So
exactly
thank you
right.
again.
And obeying all the rules, and that includes marine parks, fishing regulations, slot sizes, closed seasons, time and area closures, all that. So let's talk about one of the most important part about what we've got going on here in our reefs is the public moorings. So combined with this, blanket protection, people still have access through diving and limited interaction. The extraction zones have been reduced, of course, but I'm going to explain the benefit of that in a second. But around the Cayman Islands, we have 365 public moorings, and this is what they look like. So you can tie your boat up. You don't have to drop your anchor. You can tie up, do your dives, do your snorkel, do whatever you want to do, and then leave without creating any anchor damage. So these green areas here are all the no extraction zones nowadays, or environmental zones. No taking of any marine life, alive or dead, with no exceptions. So, all of these places that the fish certainly know. I mean, along this part, the north wall of Little Cayman, the Bloody Bay Wall, you see more Nassau groupers on this stretch of reef than anywhere else, probably in the Caribbean. And that's because they know where the parks are. There is a spillover effect, of course, where the fish will move into the areas where people can fish, and so there's a supplementation happening naturally. But for the large part, we got people downstairs.
We're in the gallery and shop for anyone who is asking, and so we've got. There we go.
And so there is an advantage too for the people who do engage in fishing. But the snappers, and I got a chart here, one of our little drawings of snappers, and the groupers.
I love how you say little drawings. I mean, a lot of effort went into that.
The commercially valuable species, along with lobster and conch, and of course, there's always a lot of contention about access to these resources. Well, if you overfish them, and in many countries in the Caribbean they have been overfished, mostly by indiscriminate fishing using traps and nets, which don't discriminate between the species they take. They take everything, and so this is why, and especially if you take the grazers, that's your parrotfishes and your surgeonfishes and your chubs that eat all the algae on the reef. And why is that important? Because algae grows fast, it smothers coral, it can smother coral, and it competes with just about everything else going on. So,
and this
these reasons.
this is an example again of what a healthy kind of reef would look like.
Excuse me. Yeah, so good healthy reefs will have, turtles, plankton-eating fish, sponge-eating fish, a variety of different species, including the top predators. And I love interacting with barracudas. I'm going to show you this guy because it's one of my favorite watercolor designs that I've done, originally done for a t-shirt. But here barracuda swimming with barjacks, done in soft watercolor. I've used pencil to do the scales, a hard line on the outside of each. It's kind of a vignette. But these animals are some of my favorite reef creatures. And they're much maligned. Here, unfortunately, people still catch and kill most of the ones that they catch, which that all needs to be changed. An interaction with the barracuda on a reef is absolutely really exhilarating. They're inquisitive, wonderful to look at. They change color all the time. And they often swim in the company of these other fish. These fish are not here to be eaten. They're swimming together with, in convoy with the barracudas. So just to show you some of the cool animals that you do meet on the deep reef.
Wow, we've got Peter Farrow has joined us. Hi Valerie, thanks for joining us. Lots of people joining from Colombia, New Jersey, Florida. Thank you guys.
So let's take a look at, we've protected sharks here since 2015 when our national conservation law came in place. I don't know why the reef protection expansion wasn't done at the same time, but that's politics for you. But here's another animal that's made a big comeback, the black-tip reef shark, which we find in the shallow reef flats and in the North Sound area over the grass flats. And we see at Stingray City from time to time now because of the lack of boating. But it's just amazing to see all these animals come back. A, with the lack of boating traffic, boating activity, because there's no tourists here, still under the pandemic. But B, we never had such exposure to these animals in the past. And for me as an artist, to have these close encounters on a regular basis now, and we've seen great hammerheads, we've seen tigers. It's really wonderful to see them coming back, so to speak. The result of protections, marine park expansion. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next 10 years to our reefs. I think it's going to be wonderful. All right, Jess, what have we got going on?
So I'm coming through the questions here. Carlos, good morning. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Jan says, thank you for the tips and all the work you do. I'm going to just hold it over this while you guys are, while we're taking questions.
Okay, I want to add the red spots here on these charts are the spawning aggregation sites. And this is the one part where the DOE have not quite got it right. The spawning aggregation sites need to be protected all year round. They're in key oceanographic locations where the currents help disperse the spawn of the breeding fish. And we're not just talking about groupers and snappers. These places are used all year round by different species. And a study here showed that 28 different species of reef fish use spawning aggregation sites. This one here, at the western end of Little Cayman, is the one where all the Nassau groupers spawn in January or February each year. And we've done not one but 2 documentaries about this location here. And there's been, there is still some poaching going on at the one on Grand Cayman because the Nassau groupers haven't come back as strongly in Grand Cayman as they have in Cayman Bracken and Little Cayman. And that's because people just don't obey the rules. And it's to their detriment because it's in everybody's interest to have some form of protection. You cannot have exploitation without protection. It doesn't work in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. So just saying, John McDowell says, good morning.
Yeah.
Jess and Dr. Harvey, thanks for doing these videos. The kids and I really enjoy them. So good to hear from you. Miss you. Joe Mitchell says, hello to the saltwater Picasso. What? What a big up. That's awesome. And there was, I'm trying to find, I just lost it because Facebook reset on me just now, but someone was asking about, Oh, yes. Hello, Becky. Does Dr. Harvey ever do virtual lectures? My museum in Florida would love to host him during our Think and Drink Science program. Yes, no, we do. And so if you are interested, please email me or go on to ghof.org and send in an email saying with the dates and specifications, and we can look into that for you, depending on our schedule.
We did one yesterday for the Nova Southeastern University's Shutter Shark contest, which was a really great experience. I'm doing one next Thursday for the Key West Art and Historical Society, all about the Hemingway story, The Old Man and the Sea, which I illustrated, and which is on permanent display at the Customs House. So yeah, we do quite a few of these on a weekly basis, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
especially this time of year, we had Ocean Conservation Month, and now this is Earth Month.
Yes.
Coming up.
So
what have we got going for Earth Month?
Well, there's a lot of things locally happening. I know Marine Max is celebrating Earth Month as Earth Day particularly, but Earth Month too. And so definitely, if you are, here, I'll just turn this I'll just focus on this while you're. Yep. People can see you drawing at the same time.
Well,
but essentially, well, that's how it starts, isn't it? Yep. Anyway, lots of activities happening locally and internationally. So please contact your local groups, local environmental groups. Here we have the Mangrove Education Project, National Trust, CCMI, ourselves, and Department of Environment, and a bunch of other private and public groups that are doing an effort to raise awareness. So please join in and have a look on their sites as well. A lot of people take the opportunity to do cleanups. Oops, what is happening here? Yep. A lot of people take the opportunity to do cleanups, especially. So feel free to jump on board and get your neighborhood to participate in cleaning your neighborhood and bringing awareness to reducing plastic, etc. But there's COVID has really shown how much the environment can bounce back as a result of being more mindful of our resources and just kind of making an effort to change the way in which we live. And so feel free to, there's a lot of educational material out there, and we hope that you guys have a great Earth Month. What we have done, which is in Cayman, so if you hear on Tuesdays and Fridays, you can hear on the radio on Z99, and even anyone internationally can pick up these radio stations too. On Z99 and Bob FM, we do radio tidbits as well, so that's a great way to also engage people with little facts about the earth and how we can reduce our impact. But a lot of schools are doing their own thing, dress down days, etc. So feel free to be inspired and do something for Earth Month.
Great. And following up on what we did last week, if you remember, I was working on that 12-foot long painting of the Black Marlin, Jessica.
You were?
Doing that? Yeah.
You sure it was a Black Marlin?
Yep. But I'm getting to the end of that. It's been a 3-week journey, and I will be posting the finished picture probably on Monday or Tuesday, and then getting into another one because we still got time. We're not looking to travel for another month, and hoping to get up and go visit Florida maybe in the middle of May and start our
Did you hear that? Maybe in the middle of May.
Busch Gardens appearances in the middle of May and June, Orlando, Tampa, and get going because we've been vaccinated.
Well, I'm still waiting for my second one. I'm doing that next week, so wish me luck for next week. But that is the plan, is to be able to go traveling again soon. Yeah.
Still taking all the precautions, but with a safety valve now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So any final comments?
No, that's it. We're delighted here that we've made this progress. It took 10 years to get the marine parks, the expansion working for us and legislated. It took 12 years to get slot sizes and no-take and closed seasons for our Nassau groupers here, which is the iconic reef fish. So just to remind people that the whole process of really legislating conservation of a species or an area is not a 1 day or 1 week or 1 month or 1 year deal. These things take a long time, often spanning different administrations. And so you cannot give up. You have to be persistent. Otherwise, everything will go. And it takes our collective effort to achieve all of this. And that's how it's happened here in Cayman. A lot of people have spoken out about the need for more protections for our marine environment. and I applaud them and I appreciate their support, and to support the Department of Environment in all of its efforts in marine conservation, education and enforcement. So thank you everybody involved.
So we're going to take this time now because we have some minutes left before to take some questions. So I'm going through and seeing what people have. Jeremy Beck says, do you have any favorite go-to acrylics and or brushes?
I think we show them Liquitex acrylics. Let me get up and show you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Squeezing in. I'm going to stay here for a second. So yes, he's just grabbing the brushes now. We also did some feature stuff with on other shows highlighting these things. So
this is the brand I use, the Liquitex. I sometimes use heavy body or medium body. I prefer the medium body because I like it to flow. And I use a lot of it. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
fast drying
there's
brushes.
that too.
I use all kinds of different brushes. So
okay.
Different brushes for eyes and noses, and bigger brushes for bodies, and like the brush strokes in the light here. I use a large brush, but very dry, and so because I just want the appearance of light. I don't want to have like a streak,
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. And Brian's asking, which reef fish is your favorite to capture and draw? Do you have?
I don't fish for reef fish.
Right, and so we only go for photography reasons to go and see reef fish. We don't ever catch them, and if for whatever reason we do, we let them go.
The reason being that reef fish are far more valuable alive than dead, and part of the problem has been that a lot of Caymanians still have licenses to trap fish, and there's a fair amount of line fishing going on. As you can see, but in other countries like Jamaica, where I'm from, the trap fishing has denuded the reefs of all fish, especially the grazers, as I mentioned earlier, the parrotfish, the surgeonfish. And apart from the ecological damage that this causes, the value of these fish is much greater in having a healthy reef system through marine parks and fish sanctuaries, and administering that properly, spending the money on it, and allowing fishing in certain places. This country is too small to allow extensive fishing going on, because our diving, our snorkeling industry is much, much more important.
Right.
Yep.
And so we had some people joining in from Sweden, from Tampa.
All right.
Again, for some reason, it's not allowing me to load any more comments. But
all right, well,
I apologize. I'm going to try and speak to Facebook and see what we can do about that, because normally I can see everybody's comments clicking up. But fine. So finally, thank you so much again for listening to us today. I hope that you had learned a little bit about why marine parks are not the be-all and end-all, in the sense that it's the only thing we should be doing. It's just a tool in the toolbox of ocean conservation. But it's a
very important tool.
Yeah, very important. Oh yeah, I'm not saying that it's not important.
No.
I'm just saying that it's one of many. So there's all the things that you can do. Educating yourself about different species and their habitats, being responsible boat owners. So again, doing because ultimately too, what we experience here is that people, accidents happen, but there are sometimes where an anchor chain will end up in the coral reef, or sand will be, like we had the other day at Eden Rock, sand will be blown up over the reef and require a great deal of effort to remove it before it kills so much coral. So boating responsibilities is a huge part of ocean conservation, even though it doesn't feel like it might be. So I really encourage everybody to, if you're interested or haven't done one, is to do a boat course. Again, Marine Max are doing them for all ages. Yeah. So feel free to go and check them out. Thank you again, Marine Max, for bringing awareness to Earth Day and just being a part of the community.
Yeah, and all the opportunities available to the public to just better educate themselves about boats, how they work, how they need to be treated with respect, and how to be a responsible user of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Thank you so much again, and we will be... I'll check the schedule, but I think we're back in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
So if anything changes, go on to ghof.org. We have a new website. Feel free to have a look around. If there's any comments you want to share, feel free to let us know. And again, look on our website for other resources that we
I'll
have.
leave you with this image of the old barracuda here, which I really love.
One of my favorites. Look at the
It is.
detail
I know.
in that.
I love that guy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, take care, guys.
All right.
Have a good one. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon.
Have a
Say
great
bye,
weekend.
Dad.
Take care.
Bye.